Hello, everyone. I just wanted to share a funny story about how I recently got pwned by a church with coffee. So, many of you know that I've been a board member of the Freethinkers of Colorado Springs for a while now, and I just recently became their vice president. Since becoming a board member, I've been posting little meetups to their meetup page in an attempt to create a little bit more community. And recently, I posted one called Coffee and Plotting. I saw a new coffee shop that I wanted to see if we could maybe use that coffee shop for our little cozy get togethers, the small ones. Sometimes you want a lot of people to show up, like at the end of February, we're having Richard Dawkins and Catherine Stewart come, and, in March, we're having a float go through the St. Patrick's Day parade. We want a lot of people to show up to that, but sometimes you just want a cozy little get-together where you can actually talk to everyone there. And so I've been posting little things like coffee shop meetups. And all I wanted to do at this meetup was investigate the coffee shop itself, to see whether or not we could use this coffee shop, and plot future meetups. Now, the way that I chose this coffee shop is I was driving along Platte, and it was at the intersection of Platte and Weber in Colorado Springs that I looked to the right and I saw this coffee shop that had just a big logo that said 225 on it. Okay? That was all I saw. And you can see that in their Facebook page right here, that they just have a giant logo on the outside that says 225. Now, also on the window it says Wi-Fi, coffee, espresso, and a meeting place. Well, that's awesome. That's what I'd like to have in a coffee shop for our little get-togethers. And I thought, wow, we should check that place out. And so, I went to their Facebook page, look at the photos, that they have of their own place. And here's one that's just awesome, right? It's got all of these chairs that we could, meet around and all that. And the actual place is actually a lot more awesome than this, okay? Great couches in there, and the furniture was awesome. Anyways, this is all the research I did into the place, was go to their Facebook page. And I read, in particular, the About Them page, okay? And I invite all of you to click on the link in the description box and look at this About page, because there is something missing from this About page, okay? When I saw that they were open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, I was like, okay, well, we'll go Tuesday, and we'll go around 6 p.m., and then by 8 p.m. when they close, that's a good stopping point, We won't have anyone thinking that this conversation is going on forever. It'd just be a nice little get-together, and we talk for 2 hours. Awesome, right? And this is a pretty, filled out About Us page, okay? It's got things like the price range and the food style and everything that they do, except for one little thing that they do. Because when we got there, first it was Carol, another board member, and I, and as we're sitting there, the barista was non-existent, okay? She just for about 30 minutes of us sitting there early for that meeting, there was one person who had a vacuum cleaner and two people who were setting up on the little sound stage that they have in there. And nobody really seemed to be saying anything like they were there as part of that building. I felt like the two people setting up at the soundstage were like open mic night musicians, maybe? I don't know. So finally, a barista comes. It's around 5 minutes to 6. And we ask her if we can get some coffee. And when you go to the About page, mind you, it does say that they close at 8. Well, she tells us, no, we close down the coffee bar at 5 o'clock. but service is about to start. And I looked at Carol. I had this puzzled look on my face, and I looked left, and I looked right. And what I'm looking for is, like a cross, or, any sort of indicator that this could be a church. Because I just heard this girl say that service is about to start. And, I just booked a venue, for a couple of free thinkers to come, and it's going to be a church service? What? And then I looked down at my laptop, and I have a lot of bumper stickers on my laptop on the outside, and the biggest one of them along the bottom of my laptop says, "The Christian right is neither." Okay? So I realized that those two musicians weren't talking to me because I had my laptop open in my lap and they were looking right at it, and I was in a church. So that's awesome. So as people started filing in, I told them, well, we've got a slight problem. We need to find a different coffee shop. And we decided to go to Cafe Corto. And so I went to the meetup page with my phone, and I changed it to Cafe Corto. But I want you all to click on the link in the description box and see how little signs there are that this is a church. Now, after doing a little bit closer inspection, I did see in the comments here, come to 225 Coffee Shop and Venues Worship Night, right? That happened in December, this comment. There's nothing else on their entire Facebook page that would let you know that this is a church. And we have a word for this. It's called a seeker-friendly church. Basically, they strip themselves of all the things that you would normally associate with a church and just have a really hypnotic music service in order to bring people into being religious. And so, if you're in Colorado Springs anytime soon, I would stop by at 225 Weber. They named their coffee shop really after the street address that they have. Take a look yourself. Even the flyers that are in the front of the entrance, there's a little table where people can leave flyers. Not one of those flyers has any mention of it being a church or any mention of God or anything. It's a completely camouflaged church service where they're basically just bait and switching people. And I got caught. Just so you can get an idea of what must have been going through the minds of the two musicians who were facing me while I was at that coffee shop. And they weren't saying anything to me at all. And the reason why is probably because I had my laptop open. And, this is my laptop and all the bumper stickers that are on the front of it. So I can understand why they weren't forthcoming with the fact that they were a church right away.